All right, so if you are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, and you want to avoid one of the most common issues that people have when it comes to getting older, which is developing a hunched back, then you need to start acting now. Because the thing is, if you just leave it up to chance, then you are at risk. I'm Sean McClendon. I'm a certified personal trainer, and I am interested in helping people to age successfully, among other things, and it's time to be proactive, y'all. So what is a hunched back? A hunched back is when you develop over time a posture where you're bent over, and in particular, you have a curved upper back. And what is that? So basically, in a nutshell, what that is, or what that can be attributed to, is a tight upper body, like a tight, in particular, like your chest and shoulders, and a weak upper back, okay? And so why is that? So typically what happens is this. The average person, at least in our society, is not doing enough pulling type movements, or movements that cause you to contract your back muscles, okay? So like you see I'm kind of doing like this here, like pulling my shoulder blades together, or even stuff that requires you to carry and lift, you know, where you're activating those back muscles. So what happens is we tend to have weak upper backs. Now, when you're going through, of course, your teens, 20s, 30s, even 40s and 50s, you can kind of get away with it. But what happens is, as we get older, when you hit somewhere in the 30s, you begin to experience what's called sarcopenia, which is the loss of muscle tissue with age. Now, this is really whenever this is something you experience really whenever you are not physically active, when you're not using muscle, like they say, use it or lose it. When you're not using these muscles, you tend to atrophy. Those muscles tend to get smaller, they tend to get weaker. Now, in contrast, we tend to use the muscles here, like our chest muscles, a bit more. And so what happens is, one of the ways that your posture is maintained is by a balance between muscle groups. It is maintained because the muscles in the front and the muscles in the back are constantly having like a slight pull, that's called muscle tone, on the bones, okay? And so that's how your musculature is maintained. However, over time, if you're pushing muscles, these muscles in the front, like your chest and shoulders, are overpowering the muscles in the back, you know, like your various upper back muscles, then this is going to, over time, affect your posture. And then as you experience sarcopenia, and even osteopenia, which is the loss of bone tissue with age, then you can start to get this hunched back posture. All right, so you may be asking, so how in the world do I avoid this? What can I do to prevent this? So what you need to do to prevent this is you need to be using your upper back. So now on a very fundamental level, you need to make sure that you're doing things that require you to pull. So for example, you know, you're lifting groceries or lifting things off the floor, you know, just other practical things. Maybe when you're doing yard work, you know, you're pulling weeds out and you're raking, you're sweeping and stuff like that. Now, at a very practical level, these are the kind of things that you need to do, things that require you to pull and whatnot. Now, it's a very good idea for you to do specific exercises to combat this as well. So I'm going to demonstrate two of those that you can do with little to no equipment, okay, to specifically help you to pull those muscles back. And when I say pull back, you know, you're talking about in a row position, pulling your shoulder blades together and contracting them. Now, this first one I've demonstrated on my channel before. I call it threshold pull-ups. So you can call them threshold rows, okay? So what you want to do is grab the inside of a door threshold you see with your hands like so. You're gonna step in so that you can lean back at an angle, and you're gonna pull up, okay? You're gonna pull up, okay? And so what I would advise you to do is at least do one set of these, even if you can get into a practice of doing one set of these every day until you get tired. Make sure you squeeze those shoulder blades together as you come up. Now, another thing you can do is, as more of a static movement, you can kind of hang on the door threshold like so, and just simply, without bending your arms, pull your shoulder blades in. Now, this is a way to do the exercise more so isometrically. However, if you want to incorporate some arm work, specifically like your biceps, then you want to actually do the row position, and you might want to do it kind of slow to make sure that you're getting tension on the muscles involved. So again, remember to squeeze those shoulder blades together. That is key. All right, let's look at another exercise here. Okay, so this next exercise is a row as well, and obviously you would need this piece of equipment right here, this portable dip bar. There is a link in the description that you can use to buy one of these if you would like. But if you don't do that, you can also find like a table or something like that and do this as well. So anyway, again, what you want to do is, this is going to be a row. You're going to grab on like so. Step out. Now, it doesn't necessarily matter if your knees are bent or straight out like this. It might be a little bit easier to do it this way, especially to kind of get the move right. And you're going to pull up. Okay, you see, we're going to pull up as high as we can and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Again, I would recommend that you try to do one set of this a day as a minimum if all you're trying to do is just really kind of maintain like a general strengthening to prevent muscle loss in those back muscles, and to help prevent a hunched back, okay? So those are two exercises that you can use to actively prevent developing a hunched back with age. Again, y'all, this is for those of you who are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or beyond, who want to prevent a hunched back from underuse of those back muscles. It's all about aging successfully and not leaving it up to chance, because that's where we mess up. We leave our health up to chance. We leave aging up to chance while assuming that aging is only good genetics, and that it's not really much you can do about the aging process. Thankfully, we live in a time where folks have really found out there's a ton that you can do and that you should be doing. Okay, make sure you share this with your friends, your family, and other people who may be interested in aging successfully. Make sure you subscribe as well, and have a good day. As we get older, it becomes increasingly important to maintain and build muscle. Muscle helps you burn fat, stay mobile, and can contribute to longevity. However, many people have no idea how to work out to build muscle. My mini workout series on Patreon provides you with my body weight mini workout video library. These workouts use little to no equipment, which means that you can do them in the privacy of your own home. They start at beginner level and progress from there to ensure you continue to see results. Every workout is a full body workout, hitting chest, back, legs, and glutes, as well as other muscles in between. Become a patron today and receive access to my series of mini workouts, plus access to a digital copy of my book, 8 Weeks to Transform Your Diet and Your Health. By combining the workouts with healthy diet changes, as outlined in my book, you'll definitely be on your way to weight loss, improved health, and visible results. Join me at patreon.com/SeanB2B Fitness today.